house was a piece of broken board that had Trespassers W on it. When Christopher Robin asked Piglet what it meant, he said it was his grandfather's name. And the house had been in the family for a long time. Christopher Robin said you couldn't be called Trespassers W. And Piglet said, yes, you could, because his grandfather was. And it was short for Trespassers Will, which was short for Trespassers William. And his grandfather had 2 names in case he lost one. Trespassers after an uncle, and William after Trespassers. It's already supremely silly. Oh, I love Winnie the Pooh. I've got 2 names, said Christopher Robin carelessly. Well, there you are. That proves it, said Piglet. One fine winter's day when Piglet was brushing away the snow in front of his house, he happened to look up, and there was Winnie the Pooh. Wow, is this like present day? I have snow outside as well. Just a little bit. Just a light dusting on the ground. Nothing crazy, the roads are nice and safe. Piglet is shoveling the snow. No, it's alright, it's a nice, it's a good amount, of snow. It's, kind of a perfect amount, really, where it doesn't really affect anything. And it'll probably melt really, really soon. Those crazy Fae with 2 names. I'm sure it was Trespassers will be persecuted, let's say. Pooh was walking round and round and round in a circle, thinking of something else, and when Piglet called to him, he just went on walking. Hello, said Piglet. What are you doing? Hunting, said Pooh. Hunting what? Tracking something, said Winnie the Pooh, very mysteriously. Tracking what? Said Piglet, coming closer. That's just what I ask myself. I ask myself, what? What do you think you'll answer? I shall have to wait until I catch up with it, said Winnie the Pooh. Now, look there. He pointed to the ground in front of him. What do you see there? Tracks, said Piglet. Paw marks. He gave a little squeak of excitement. Oh, Pooh, do you think it's a woozle? It may be, said Pooh. Sometimes it is, and sometimes it isn't. You never can tell with paw marks. With these few words, he went on tracking, and Piglet, after watching him for a minute or 2, ran after him. Winnie the Pooh had come to a sudden stop and was bending over the tracks in a puzzled sort of way. What's the matter? Said Piglet. It's a very funny thing, said Bear. But there seem to be 2 animals now. You freaking doofuses. I just realized looking at the pictures, it's their own footsteps. This, whatever it was, has been joined by another. Whatever it is, I didn't remember. It's kind of relatable. They travel in pairs, and when there's only one set of footsteps, that's when Pooh carried Piglet. And the two of them are now proceeding in company. Would you mind coming with me, Piglet, in case they turn out to be hostile animals? Piglet scratched his ear in a nice sort of way. Kind of like this. And said that he had nothing to do until Friday, and would be delighted to come in case it really was a woozle. You mean, in case it really is two woozles, said Winnie the Pooh. And Piglet said that, anyhow, he had nothing to do until Friday. So off they went together. Those woozles. Woozles? Did Piglet bring his school? I don't know, we need Christopher Robin to come because we know Christopher Robin has a freaking, he has like an airsoft gun or something, Answering the call to investigate danger with, sure, I'm free today. Sure, I got nothing better to do. Let's go find these hostile animals. They should bring, snacks to feed to the animals. There was a small spinney of large trees just here, and it seemed as if the two woozles, if that is what they were, had been going round this spinney. So round the spinney went Pooh and Piglet after them. Piglet passing the time by telling Pooh that his grandfather, Trespassers W, had done to remove stiffness after tracking, and how his grandfather, Trespassers W, had suffered in his later years from shortness of breath and other matters of interest. Not odor, other. And Pooh wondering what a grandfather was like, and if perhaps this was two grandfathers they were after now, and if so, whether he would be allowed to take one home and keep it, and what Christopher Robin would say. And still, the tracks went on in front of them. Yeah, be careful of your lungs, you guys. Don't want to get none of that mesothelioma. Suddenly, Winnie the Pooh stopped and pointed excitedly in front of him. Look! What? Said Piglet, with a jump. And then, to show that he hadn't been frightened, he jumped up and down once or twice more, in an exercising sort of way. The tracks, said Pooh. A third animal has joined the other two. Pooh, cried Piglet. Do you think it is another woozle? No, said Pooh, because it makes different marks. It is either two woozles and one, as it might be, whizzle, or two, as it might be, whizzles and one. If so, it is woozle. Let us continue to follow them. Shouldn't it be two animals join the other two to make four? Maybe one of the animals only has one leg. Wait. Yeah. Pooh's just trying to figure out whether it's two whistles and one woozle or two woozles and one whistle. So they went on, feeling just a little anxious now, in case the three animals in front of them were of hostile intent. And Piglet wished very much that his grandfather, T.W., were there, instead of elsewhere. And Pooh thought how nice it would be if they met Christopher Robin suddenly, but quite accidentally, and only because he liked Christopher Robin so much. then, all of a sudden, Winnie the Pooh stopped again and licked the tip of his nose in a cooling manner, for he was feeling more hot and anxious than ever in his life before. There were 4 animals in front of them. Do you see, Piglet? Look at their tracks. 3, as it were, woozles, and 1, as it was Whizzle. Another woozle has joined them. And so it seemed to be. There were tracks crossing over each other here, getting muddled up with each other there, but quite plainly every now and then, the tracks of 4 sets of paws. They are 4 animals. I think, said Piglet, when he had licked the tip of his nose too. I don't like that sound I made when I attempted to lick my nose. And found that it brought very little comfort. I think that I have just remembered something. I have just remembered something that I forgot to do yesterday and shan't be able to do tomorrow. So, I suppose I really ought to go back and do it now. We'll do it in the afternoon, and I'll come with you, said Pooh. It isn't the sort of thing you can do in the afternoon, said Piglet quickly. It's a very particular morning thing that has to be done in the morning, and if possible between the hours of... What would you say the time was? About 12, said Winnie the Pooh, looking at the sun. Sorry about my chair. Between, as I was saying, the hours of 12 and 12:05, so really, dear old Pooh, if you'll excuse me. What's that? Pooh looked up at the sky, and then, as he heard the whistle again, he looked up into the branches of a big oak tree, and then he saw a friend of his. It's Christopher Robin, he said. Ah, then you'll be all right, said Piglet. You'll be quite safe with him. Goodbye. And he trotted off home as quickly as he could, very glad to be out of all danger again. Christopher Robin came slowly down his tree. Silly old bear, he said. What were you doing? First you went round the spinney twice, by yourself, and then Piglet ran after you, and you went round again together, and then you were just going round a 4th time. Wait a moment, said Winnie the Pooh, holding up his paw. He sat down and thought, in the most thoughtful way he could think. Then he fitted his paw into one of the tracks, and then he scratched his nose twice, and stood up. Yes, said Winnie the Pooh. I see now, said Winnie the Pooh. I have been foolish and deluded, said he. I am a bear of no brain at all. You're the best bear in all the world, said Christopher Robin soothingly. Am I? Said Pooh hopefully, and then he brightened up suddenly. Anyhow, he said, it is nearly luncheon time. So he went home for it. I've been foolish and deluded. You guys are the best buckles in all the world. Just in case you were doubting it. That's a good thing to say. I've been foolish and deluded. Luncheon is lunchtime, I think. guys have very big by area brains, but they're very compact, so they fit nicely in your skull because they're all wrinkled. Sometimes you're silly, and that's okay. Time for lunch, exactly. The spider mom. Well, I try. Okay, that's why. That's how come I'm reading you guys books and stuff. You guys don't have brain damage. Stop it. Well, I don't know. Maybe some of you do, cause I know stuff like that can happen in like car accidents or whatnot. And if you do, that's okay. You guys are buckle brain, which is the best brain. Yeah. Alright. Do you guys want another story? A blank page. You know what's really convenient? The pages match the pages in my book exactly. Your brain is full of holes from amitoxin. Amitoxin doesn't create holes, it fills them. Eeyore! Oh my god, we're about to be so sad. Eeyore is the saddest mother meower of all time. Oh no. Should we skip it? Do you guys want a sad story? I think it probably has a happy ending, but I don't actually know. Why you say it that way? Because yours has sad life. Let me take a peek at the end for you guys and make sure it's a wholesome story. Hold on. I think you'll be fine. Oh, you guys are gonna like it. You guys are gonna love it. It's a happy ending, okay? In which Eeyore loses a tail and Pooh finds one. The old grey donkey, Eeyore, stood by himself in a thistly corner of the forest, his front feet well apart, his head on one side, and thought about things. Sometimes he thought sadly to himself, why? And sometimes he thought, wherefore? And sometimes he thought, inasmuch as which? And sometimes he didn't quite know what he was thinking about. So when Winnie the Pooh came stumping along, Eeyore was very glad to be able to stop thinking for a little, in order to say, how do you do? In a gloomy manner to him. And how are you? Said Winnie the Pooh. Eeyore shook his head from side to side. Not very how, he said. I don't seem to have felt at all how for a long time. It's so... Poor Eeyore, I shouldn't be laughing, but it doesn't make any sense. Oh. Poor guy, he doesn't know how to express his feelings. He'll be okay. He'll be okay. Dear, dear, said Pooh. I'm sorry about that. Let's have a look at you. Pooh's gonna help. So Eeyore stood there, gazing sadly at the ground, and Winnie the Pooh walked all around him once. Why? What's happened to your tail? He said in surprise. What has happened to it? Said Eeyore. It isn't there. Are you sure? is there or it isn't there. You can't make a mistake about it, and yours isn't there. Then what is? Nothing. Yeah, I think Eeyore's everyone's spirit animal sometimes, you know. My spider legs, they're still there. You just can't see them right now. You can only see me from the book up. Let's have a look, said Eeyore. And he turned slowly around to the place where his tail had been a little while ago. And then, finding that he couldn't catch it up, turned around the other way. Sorry, a car went by. Turned around the other way until he came back to where he was at first. And then he put his head down and looked between his front legs. And at last he said, with that long, sad sigh, I believe you're right. Of course I'm right, said Pooh. That accounts for a good deal, said Eeyore gloomily. It explains everything. No wonder. You must have left it somewhere, said Winnie the Pooh. Somebody must have taken it, said Eeyore. How like them, he added, after a long silence. Pooh felt that he ought to say something helpful about it, but didn't quite know what. So he decided to do something helpful instead. Eeyore, he said solemnly, I, Winnie the Pooh, will find your tail for you. Thank you, Pooh, answered Eeyore. You're a real friend, said he. Not like some, he said. So, Winnie the Pooh went off to find Eeyore's tail. It was a fine spring morning in the forest as he started out. Little soft clouds played happily in a blue sky, skipping from time to time in front of the sun, as if they had come to put it out, and then sliding away suddenly so that the next might have his turn. Through them and between them the sun shone bravely, and the copse which had worn its furs all the year round seemed old and dowdy now, beside the new green lace which the peaches had put on so prettily. Through copse and spinney marched Bear, down open slopes of gorse and heather, over rocky beds of streams, up steep banks of sandstone into the heather again. And so at last, tired and hungry, to the 100-acre wood. For it was in the 100-acre wood that Owl lived. And if anyone knows anything about anything, said Bear to himself, it's Owl who knows something about something. Yeah, Pooh is a nice friend to Eeyore, who it seems like he just met, but I don't know. He said, or my name's not Winnie the Pooh, he said, which it is, he added. So, there you are. Owl lived at the Chestnuts, an old world residence of great charm, which was grander than anybody else's, or seemed so to Bear, because it had both a knocker and a bell pull. Underneath the knocker there was a notice which said, "Please ring if answer is required." Underneath the bell pull there was a notice which said, "Please knock if an answer is not required." Oh, these notices have been written by Christopher Robin, who was the only one in the forest who could spell. For Owl, wise though he was in many ways, able to read and write his own and spell his own name, W-O-L, yet somehow went all to pieces over delicate words like measles and buttered toast. Winnie the Pooh read 2 notices very carefully, from left to right, and afterwards, in case he had missed some of it, from right to left. Then, to make quite sure, he knocked and pulled the knocker, and he pulled and knocked the bell rope, and he called out in a very loud voice, "Hello! I require an answer. It's Bear speaking." And the door opened. An owl looked out. "Hello, Pooh," he said. "How's things?" "Terrible and sad," said Pooh, "because Eeyore, who is a friend of mine, has lost his tail, and he's moping about it. So, could you very tell me how to find it for him?" "Well," said Owl, "the customary procedure in such cases is as follows." "What does customary procedure mean?" said Pooh. "For I am a bear of very little brain, and long words bother me." "It means the thing to do. Delicious crusty money proceed cake." "As long as it means that, I don't mind," said Pooh humbly. "The thing to do is as follows. First, issue a reward. Then, just a moment," said Pooh, holding up his paw. "What do we do to this? What were you saying? You sneezed just as you were going to tell me." "I didn't sneeze." "Yes, you did, Owl." "Excuse me, Pooh. I didn't. You can't sneeze without knowing it." "Well, you can't know it without something having been sneezed." "What I said was, first issue a reward." "You're doing it again," said Pooh sadly. "A reward," said Owl very loudly. "We write a notice to say that we will give a large something to anybody who finds Eeyore's tail." I see," said Pooh, nodding his head. "Talking about large somethings," he went on dreamily, "I generally have a small something about now, about this time in the morning." And he looked wistfully at the cupboard in the corner of Owl's parlor. So cute. Pooh is so cute. Just a mouthful of condensed milk or whatnot, with perhaps a lick of honey. "Well then," said Owl, "we write out this notice and we put it up all over the forest." "A lick of honey," murmured Bear to himself, or not, as the case may be, and he gave a deep sigh. And he tried very hard to listen to what Owl was saying. But Owl went on and on, using longer and longer words, until at last he came back to where he started, and explained that the person to write out this notice was Christopher Robin. Yeah, condensed milk is very important. Got his mind on his honey, and honey on his mind. I think bears just like to eat sweet things, you know. It was he who wrote the ones on my front door for me. Do you see them, Pooh? For some time now, Pooh had been saying yes and no in turn, with his eyes shut to all that Owl was saying. And having said yes last time, he said no, not at all now, without really knowing what Owl was talking about. "Didn't you see them?" said Owl, a little surprised. "Come look at them now." Pooh looked at the knocker and the notice below it. And he looked at the bell rope and the notice below it. And the more he looked at the bell rope, the more he felt that he had seen something like it somewhere else, sometime before. Handsome bell rope, isn't it? Said Owl. Pooh nodded. It reminds me of something, he said. But I can't think what. Where did you get it? I just came across it in the forest. It was hanging over a bush, and I thought first somebody lived there. So I rang it, and nothing happened. And then I rang it again very loudly, and it came off in my hand. And as nobody seemed to want it, I took it home and... Hello, Pooh said solemnly. You made a mistake. Somebody did want it. Who? Eeyore, my dear friend Eeyore. He was fond of it. Fond of it? Attached to it, said Winnie the Pooh sadly. So, with these words, he unhooked it and carried it back to Eeyore. And when Christopher Robin had nailed it on its right place again, Eeyore frisked about the forest, waving his tail so happily that Winnie the Pooh came over all funny, and he had to hurry home for a little snack of something to sustain him. Yeah, that was a very smart thing for Pooh to do. Look how happy he is. He got a big ol' smile. And wiping his mouth half an hour afterwards, he sang to himself proudly. Who found the tail? I, said Pooh, at 2:45. Only it was 11:15, really. I found the tail. Oh, Pooh Bear is so cute. The nailing part scared you as a kid. Yeah, what's going on with that? You can't nail something to a donkey. I guess it's a stuffed animal, I guess, is the idea, so he's nailing it onto a stuffed animal. Oh, it scarred you. Good work, you silly old bear. Alright, I think we are gonna stop with those two stories for today. Give me just one moment. I'm gonna mute for a second because I want to get my throat a little clear, okay? And it's gonna be loud, so just give me a second. Alright. Alright, where is this now? That's right here. There we go. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed the storytelling this time. There's lots more Winnie the Pooh stories. I'm not even like halfway through the first book, and there's like 5 other books. Yeah, so now I will let you guys listen to the ba-dum-ba-dumps, and I guess if you have any specific requests, you can let me know, okay? You guys enjoyed it? I'm glad. Happy, happy, happy. Comfy and silly. It's not gonna be no tummy noises. I love these Winnie the Pooh stories. They're all so wholesome and silly. They're really making me, like, laugh way more than I expected. Relaxing. It was great. Very fun. Thank you guys. I'm glad you guys had a fun time. The storytelling portion is over. Okay? So if you're averse to, I don't know, hearing something pumping blood inside of my chest cavity, you might want to tap out, but let me see if I can make this happen. Oh my. Sorry for the creaking of my mic arm. It's so hard to find always. Here, a little bit something there. I think we can get louder. How's that? Yeah, I have it on my right side. Oh, stop it, mic stand. Small spider girl, big heart. I hope it's a normal size heart because... Or yeah, it's left side, yeah. It'd be your guys' is right, my left. I hope my heart's normal size because I think if it's big, it can be like a health condition. Yeah, like an enlarged heart is not good, I think. That's nice and loud. You can have a condition where your heart is on the right, but it's pretty rare. I thought it was only slightly off to the side, but then I started doing this and it's really all the way over there. Just like the green shop. But keep trying to find a better place, because I remember we got to be really, really loud one time. But I'm having a tough time. All the cupping and recupping. Now that's a loud heart. Well, I can cup over here, One side you got the heart, and the other side you got the cupping of the... Wow, that sounds so... Yeah, it would be really loud if you were my tummy girl, because I would get embarrassed, yes. It's true. Because, you guys, I can, hear myself, so... It's very, intimate sounding. Do you guys have any requests of stuff you would like to hear? There was no toot, don't even say that. During asthma, I would never, or any other time. don't know, a pure imagination. Oh, from the Willy Wonka. Wait, you said I don't actually know the words like, cause only hum it anyway. That's all I really know. That's all. Yeah, sorry, my mic arm kind of gets noisy when I move it around a lot. But I found it's kind of like the best solution because it has. I can hear my heart. It has the least amount of risk of getting knocked over, you know. Oh, my heart, yeah, is loud. You know, gentle humming. It turns out I feel like I'm not really good at humming. Or it doesn't really feel like good to do, you know? I can do it sometimes. I feel like I end up using way too much breath, you know? Speaking of breath, have you guys remembered to be breathing properly? And taking time to get some nice deep breaths in. To relax your body. Yeah, do you guys want to do that before you finish up? Of course, I can kind of do. Yeah, this whole time we're supposed to be breathing. Alright. Someone's been stealing your breath away. Who? Just kidding. It didn't actually go over my head. If you're like me, you can breathe out through your ears, you know, cause that happened, that happened the other day. Alright. Okay, we're gonna have a nice, just a minute or so of nice controlled breathing, okay? And you don't have to think too much.